morning, cyber friends. This old Mitty man coming at you again from back here in Walk Studio, Studio B. Thank God for everybody. Thank God for the cyber friends of one that are in close to everybody, and we just thank God for y'all. And we are doing a video here about on Galatians 6. I was told, matter of fact, Brother Hammerman, he told me this here a few days ago. Really, he mentioned it, and I thought about it, and I went and I read the verse, Galatians 6. Very familiar passage of scripture. You know, we all know about it, and a lot of time I think a lot of us misinterpreted what Apostle Paul was saying in this scripture. Because we often say, you know, man reap what you sow. Yeah, but that's true in every aspect of the term. Yeah, it is very true. But what Apostle Paul telling us is something that I remember Brother Hammerman was speaking to me. We was talking about, you know, I had spoke to him about doing this orchestral piece that I was trying to get stirred up, and I had started another one of my projects that I did years ago with my buddy Carnell Shingles. Carnell Shingles, I got the title from here called, and we was speaking coming from New Salem, my first Sunday church one first Sunday, and we were speaking, and he mentioned slow cloud, that Jesus was coming on a slow cloud, because he really was trying to give us a chance to get it right where we don't have it right, y'all. A lot of us think we got it right, but no, we ain't ready yet. You know, just going to be honest with everybody. A lot of us, we're not ready yet. So God is being long suffering with us. And so that's what me and him was talking about. And I started writing a song at that particular time called A Slow Cloud. And my buddy Richard Butler up in Baltimore, Maryland, he did an arrangement of the same title of my song, Slow Cloud. But it is beautiful. Y'all ought to go. I used to have it up on what's the name of this? Om Studio. But I think Om Studio may go out or may already be out. I think this was the last month. I don't know. I haven't heard from one of my buddies on there for a while. I did get some correspondence from him. I rock us on in an email on the private mail that we have in the server, but I think it was going under. But they was trying to figure out a way where we could continue using it with another platform. Don't know that yet, but at any rate, I wrote to continue to do this when I was thinking about what the Brother Hammerman had told me. Had I ever thought about doing an orchestral piece based on a quartet? Just do a quartet based or tune based on with orchestrals. And so I thought about it, and so one mind hit me here just to say, go ahead on, and while I was thinking about it, go on and read Galatians 6, which I know it. I just about know it verbatim, but I wanted to read it and I wanted to hear it being read from my PC Bible. And it really turned on another light for me, man. And I'm going to share that with y'all briefly, quick, like, while I try to drink this little cup of coffee I got. And I'm going to try to go ahead on this, open up a few string sections and maybe French horns. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing, because this majestic thing is said. What Apostle Paul said, be not deceived, my brethren, for God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. What meaning? That mean good and bad. That don't mean only bad. That mean good too. So that mean if you do good, you reap good. And if you do bad, you reap bad. That's common sense. You can't go out there and plant tomatoes and expect to go out there and pull up watermelon. You don't do that. If you plant tomatoes, you get tomatoes. You plant corn, you get corn. So this is what the Apostle Paul was trying to let us all know, that we receive exactly what we give. In other words, And when Hammerman told me to write an orchestral piece about a quartet song, I thought about one of my old quartet style singers, Slim and Supreme Angel. Slim and Supreme Angel. And the song was called God Got It. And when I was with my former partner, and we had our former group, which I named it the Cross Calvary Gospel Singers, and we used to sing that tune, God Got It. As a matter of fact, another one of the local groups in the area, they also started singing the song as well. And it's a pretty song. It's a very pretty song. I love the way it's arranged and everything. But that's the first song that came to my mind when Hammerman told me about to do a orchestral piece based on a quartet song. But then this Galatians 6 came up. And y'all, Galatians 6 is so powerful. Apostle Paul was telling us, so many ways and so many things what we need to do. In other words, he said he would not give. He said, like I said, don't boast in nothing but the cross of Christ. Don't boast in your own thing that you think you're doing so well. We need to give God all the glory. Give Christ the glory, because he's the one that done it all. He paid the whole full price. That everything that no matter what you might think that you are doing, you're not going to ever do enough to save yourself. I'm not going to do enough to save myself. It's only what Jesus did that God looks at. So this is what the Apostle Paul was trying to let the Galatians, he called them foolish Galatians in the very beginning of the letter, or around 1st, 2nd, and 3rd chapter. He called them foolish Galatians because he said, now, have you begun a great work? In other words, what it took you to get saved from the beginning, it was the cross of Christ. It was by grace of what we saved. But now all of a sudden, now you think it is something that you've done. Who has bewitched you to make you think that now you are able to do it? And that's where a lot of us are. We think sometimes we get, and I'm saying we all, because we all steps in that. Sometimes we can begin to think higher than we should. In other words, but we got to remember it is Christ that enable us to do the little stuff we think we doing. But if it wasn't for him, we couldn't do nothing at all. So we just have to give him that. And that's how come I broke to, in other words, in order where I broke to try to put this song together in an orchestrated fashion. Like my buddy Hammerman asked me has I ever tried it. A few days ago, it may have been a week ago. I'm not certain was it before my surgery or it was after my surgery, but I believe it was before, and I told him that I would take a look into it and see what I can come up with. And I think that's what I'm going to do for a little while here before I turn in. I'm going to just, pick up some strings and some French horns and just see what I can come up with based on Galatians 6, on the reaping what you sow, and that's good and bad. A lot of people, they want to make it be bad, but it means good too. And that's where I wanted to be about it. I want everybody to reap good. I don't want nobody to reap bad. But like I say, it's entirely up to us now. What you do, what you receive is what, in other words, whatever you plant, that's what we'll grow. So that it is entirely up to us. So with that said, y'all just bear with me in a few minutes. I'm going to crank up Ableton Live, and I hope my buddy Daryl, in which I believe he will, see this here. And Daryl, get your thinking cap on, because I'm going to come I'm going to come with it from the basis of the strings as far as harmonizing it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do, I don't really know which angle I'm going to take with it. But I'm going to try to do something very, very basic, not too complicated, too long. We don't want nothing too long. We're going to try to do about a 2 or 3 minute tune based on Galatians 6, using the orchestral sound. In other words, strings, percussions, and the brass, as well as the woodwinds. We're going to try to do that. We're going to try it. We're just going to give it a whirl. So with that being said, this Mitty Man telling all of my sight friends, y'all, whatever you get, whatever you get into, you remember God ain't in it. Please, ma'am, please, sir, come on out of it. Because it's going to come to nothing. And so what we're going to do now, as you can see, I already got my keyboard fired up. It stays fired up most of the time anyway. But that sound you hear in there will not be the sound that you will hear once I get going. Because I'm going to be using VSTs inside of Ableton Live. So with that being said, y'all just stand by. MIDI Man, hopefully to have something for you to hear very, very shortly. So y'all be blessed. And like their song said, be blessed, my brother. In other words, I love that old Paul Martin. Paul Martin, that came out a good while ago. But be blessed, my brother. And to the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this is MIDI Man saying peace and good morning.